Hi, I'm Tiff. I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which I'm recording this podcast, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. I pay my respects to elders past and present. Welcome back to Bounce Forward. I'm so pumped you're here. This is a podcast that is all about feeling great with no wellness anxiety. Gosh, isn't there a lot of anxiety? Am I juicing enough? Am I sweating enough? Am I wearing the right activewear? I know. It's a lot. Using my 20 years in the fitness industry, I'm here to break down all the fitness jargon because I want to help you to make the best choices for your health, so you can level up the energy and vitality and feel confident in your own skin. Now I'd like to take us back in history to the original gym, the ancient Greek gymnasium. This was a male-only club where chiseled athletes trained and hung out, oh my god, in the nude. In appreciation of the male form, gym goers would oil up, then sweat it out, again, nude. Can you imagine? But for anyone lacking the body confidence of a demigod, the scene is full-on intimidating. Much has changed since the days of Zeus and Hercules, thankfully, and we now have female-friendly gyms, online personal trainers, and virtual studios, to name a few. But gym anxiety definitely remains, and for too many, it is the barrier to health and fitness. We'll often physically prepare to return to the gym, dust off our runners, stretch it out, but what about the lurking anxiety? In the quest for physical prowess, our mental health has never been so important. So let's talk about one of the most intimidating things you can do. Walk into a new gym for the first time. A survey of 2,000 people found that about half expressed fear of working out in front of others. Gymtimidation is a thing, characterised by intimidation and inadequacy, and it's a phenomenon affecting half of the population. 32% reported they feel intimidated exercising in front of someone in excellent shape. 3 out of 10 admitted to pangs of anxiety when even just thinking about getting into shape. 48% said they were intimidated by the sheer number of classes and fitness options at the gym. Workout anxiety is a common feeling that many people experience when they're new to exercising or returning after a long break. If you haven't been to the gym for a little while, why does it always feel like the very first time you're going in? I can relate. Showing up for your workout is definitely the hardest part. Gymtimidation is super common. I've even felt gymtimidation myself. I was super intimidated this one time I turned up to a new big fancy gym and they offered me this fancy latte when I arrived, and I sat down and I had my coffee, and then they ushered me to the locker room where everybody was given a uniform and we all changed into the same uniform to train. It was nuts. Everyone in the same outfit. It was so unnerving being in that gym. So you might feel intimidated because you're not sure if you're doing the exercise right or working the equipment correctly. Maybe you're a beginner, you're worried about being judged or comparing yourself to others. You might just be intimidated by all the heavy butt-eating lycra that's being paraded before your eyes. I can relate. But by avoiding the gym, you're depriving yourself of having access to trainers, equipment, and a community that can benefit your health. This is then making your anxiety worse and depriving yourself of all the things that can lead to a longer, healthier life. It can become a horrible cycle. There was a time in my life when I was experiencing anxiety, and I'm not usually a very anxious person, but at this particular time in my life, perfectionism was creeping in. I was really anxious about work. I think I was maybe losing my confidence or something, and every little thing was making me anxious. My heart rate was high. I was on the verge of panic, and I know that because it was making me feel nauseous all the time. I was really, really thirsty. If any of you have felt anxious, you get a really dry mouth. And no matter what I did, I couldn't bring down my emotional baseline. And when your baseline is really high, you've got nowhere to go. Your window of tolerance shrinks and you can just go from anxious to panic, anxious to panic. So I needed to do something. Now, at the time, I thought that the answer was ditching exercise. Okay, if I don't do my workout, I'll have more time to do work or to do this thing. But in ditching exercise, I was ditching the one thing that was bringing my anxiety down, and therefore I was feeling so much worse. So I really didn't get it at the time how important it was to regulate that baseline, either through breathing or doing wellness techniques. I was only trying to assess myself when I was feeling anxious and implement strategies in those anxious moments, but they weren't working. I'd be doing a breathing technique and I'd say, this is crap. This isn't working for me. But the point is, you can't do it when you are anxious. You've got to be doing it on your good days when you're not anxious to bring that baseline down so that you've got a bigger window of tolerance. So round and around on the anxious merry-go-round you go, just feeling worse all the time. I'd forgotten how good exercise is for your brain, and that's why we're going to fight gymtimidation together. There are 4 power chemicals that can have an impact on your happiness: serotonin, endorphins, dopamine, and oxytocin. An imbalance can have dramatic results. The simple act of exercising can help in the release of endorphins. This is a chemical change in your brain that will increase your sense of well-being and boost your mood. Oh, I love endorphins. Just 15 minutes of exercise can do it. Just a short walk outside. According to the American Psychology Association, 62% of adults who exercise or walk to manage stress consider it so effective. Exercise affects neurotransmitters in the brain, such as dopamine and serotonin, that affect mood and behaviours. And the more you exercise, the more your body learns to cope with the stress it's under whilst working out. Now, this is really cool. Science shows us that your body can then reapply what it learns during the workout in dealing with that stress in future situations. So your body learns to manage the anxiety in and outside of the gym. Super cool. I think too, a lot of gymtimidation comes from thinking we have to slay the gym and that every session has to be epic. It's not the case. Every little bit of movement counts. Especially when you're feeling fatigued and tired, micro bouts of exercise can really boost energy levels and mood. A study compared results for adults walking 30 minutes in the morning at a moderate intensity versus 5 minutes of moderate intensity walking every hour. Not only did the microbout group show better results for the energy and mood, they also reported fewer food cravings at the end of the day. I know that with anything brand new, the price you pay is often feeling uncomfortable. But if you stick with it, the discomfort becomes less and less, and you may even discover that you really love gym life. I've got 6 things you can do to make yourself more comfortable in the gym environment. Booking a one-on-one your first day can really help to familiarise yourself with the equipment, avoid embarrassment and injury. Ask for a tour of the gym. Most gyms will do some kind of orientation or introduction to the equipment to help you get to know the gym floor. Or you could try a group fitness session. Really great way to see an instructor in real life, not virtually, and see the technique and learn the technique and the exercise moves that you may want to take out into your own workout. Lots of studies show that working out with other people alleviates anxiety, which is so important. Ask when peak times are. Training when the gym is quieter, which is something that I do all the time. I go to the gym about 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning when it's really quiet because I can't stand going to the gym at peak times when equipment's taken up and when you've got a plan in your head and then you can't do that plan because the equipment's not available. It doesn't work out. So ask about the peak times of the gym and go when it's quieter and you'll just feel a little bit more comfortable. Follow a program. There's a lot of equipment. There are dumbbells and squat racks and barbells and ropes and so much going on in a gym. If you turn up with a program, you can even have an online program that you're doing at the gym. It's so helpful to have a plan because having that predictability really will make you feel less anxious. Training partners. Oh, I love a training partner, a spot buddy, a hype person, a workout buddy. They're worth their weight in gold. They'll keep you accountable and on track. Create a power playlist. The right music can make or break a good session. I love Hey Ya by Outkast, my go-to pump song. You'll have a pump song too, something that'll get you fired up in the moment. Rely on that motivation. It's great. Finally, give yourself some grace and space. Nerves are normal. In those anxious moments, remind yourself of why you're there, the power of exercise and all its beautiful benefits. Keep going. The more you go, the more confident you will feel. Know that you're not alone in feeling intimidated. We all feel it, even trainers. For me, personally, on my bounce forward journey, I learned a few lessons along the way. After I had a baby, my body had changed. I felt so uncomfortable in my clothes. Just getting ready for the gym was making me anxious. I just felt so yucky trying to find what to wear, and some days I wouldn't even go to the gym because I couldn't dress right. I was trying to fit a new body into an old way of dressing and it just wasn't working. So if you can, go and buy some activewear that you feel comfortable in, that you feel fierce in even. Something that is just ticks all the boxes in your wish list. For me, it was simple. I had two things that I needed. Tights that don't roll down and tops that don't cling to your tummy rolls. They were my two things that I was looking for. Something I've learned over the years too is that maybe it's not that you don't like the gym. You just don't like that gym. You've got to find the right gym for you. One that makes you feel empowered and like you can't wait to get there, jump out of bed, see everyone, hang out, sweat. Maybe you love that energy of a big commercial gym with all of its different workout zones and lots going on and all of the equipment and classes. Or perhaps you're more like me, like a boutique gym, smaller, intimate. Maybe that's the experience you're after. So, when you get to the gym, you're so close. You've nearly made it inside, but you're still feeling uneasy. What do? For me, I love to do an easy breathing exercise from the comfort of my car. I'm usually running to the gym after a meeting or dropping Arnold at school. I'm usually rushing. And I need that 2 minutes to bring the focus back into my body. I tend to have a better session, be less anxious, and feel more present when I do this. It's really effective at lowering the heart rate, regulating that emotional baseline, and positively impacting the nervous system. Gotta look after that nervous system. Box breathing is super easy. We can do it right now. Oh, gorgeous. I love it. Step 1. Inhale, counting to 4 slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Step 2, hold your breath for 4 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Then slowly exhale through your mouth for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat steps 1 to 3 until you feel focused. Box breathing, 4 in, 4 hold, 4 out. Super simple. It just takes 2 minutes and you feel like a new person. Look, you're never going to completely life-proof your workout. You will always have some kind of crazy circling your workout time, be it family pressures or work pressures. The conditions to work out will never be perfect. Anxiety will always exist, but there are things you can do to manage it. Emblazoned on the walls at my gym are the words, show up, show up, show up. Showing up is the hardest part, totally. But if you use some of these coping mechanisms to prepare yourself, you'll get through the workout, you'll feel amazing afterwards, and I guarantee it will get easier every single time. I'd love to answer your questions in an episode, so please email me your questions at bounceforward@novaentertainment.com.au or DM me on Instagram, tiffhall_xo. Happy days.